Today we're gonna play on the new patch of Axie Origin. Currently we are Tiger 4, which means top 440 players, and as you might know, you cannot attack in round 1, so we'll see how much that changes the game. Still running the same team, Reptile, Aqua, Beast, and let's jump into the game. Game number 1, as you can see, my opponent couldn't play a single card, and the reason for that is because you cannot attack round 1. And I don't think this is a good change for the game, because it definitely limits the teams that want to go fast, that want to attack, and you kind of push people to have some sort of a defensive card, like I do. I have the red ear, I have the curved spine, I have the bumpy with innate to start with, so those cards I can always use to start off the game. But not everyone has that luxury, so I don't think limiting people to be playing defensive card, especially at the start of the game, is a good way to be moving forward, because you simply limit the options that people have when creating their teams. I think you should leave it as open as you can. You obviously want to have some balance. You want to have a little bit of a disadvantage for someone that's going first. A coin flip mechanic like they had at the start was working okay in my opinion, but I don't think limiting people to just be playing defensive card is a good step forward. Now what do we want to do? Do I want to go for the Nutcrack? Do I want to go for the Zeal? I'm not sure. Maybe I should have went for the Shoal Star Tiny Turtle combo, so I could stun from the reptile. So I could stun the bird using the reptile. I think I misplayed that turn because I was talking about the round 1. My opponent did get a bit of value from the eggshell. Little branch, 160 damage, using all of the feathers, getting himself a fury as well, get a Mavis on top. I mean, this is energy efficient if I've ever seen one. Gonna go for the curved spine. Gonna go for the risky fish. Do I want to go for the goldfish? I don't think I do. I think it's just a tricky. And then no. What do I want to do? Do I want to leave myself with the telescope or not? Or do I want to banish as many cards as I can? I think not banishing is okay, but you can probably make the case for using that telescope as well. He does go for the double talk, and it applies sleep for 2 turns. I'm not gonna have my Ronin or my Fury quite yet, so my opponent thinking that I do have that. Bit of a mistake from him. Let's see whether we can get a kill on this. Looks like we can. And why is this popping up? I actually have played cards. I have played 3 of my cards, yet my turn ends. Again, a change that looks like it's bugged, but I don't agree with that change. I know that they are trying to speed up the game a little bit, and it makes sense because the games are quite long. People have complained about that, but I don't think this is the way to do it. And the reason for that is because you are not allowing new players enough time. I think the speed up is good during the later stages, or maybe during the mid game when decisions are a little bit clear, but at the start of the game, especially in round 1 for newer players, they need to have time to read through the runes, the charms, the boosts, the debuffs, what have you. So there's quite a lot going on there that I think they should simply leave that open for newer players. For me, it doesn't really matter. I think speeding up the game is a good move, but not necessarily this way. 86 health left on that beast. We'll see whether we can take it down next turn. Fury, not that good of a Fury value. He does go for the eggshell again. He shouldn't be entering a Fury mode, so we'll see how that goes. I still have my 2 bubbles, always nice to have those. A lot of shields, and oh, that's a tragic card draw. Not even gonna break that shield. And I do have 7 cards. He has still a couple of reptile cards in there. He's still getting those feathers. Maybe going for a double plant or a reptile plant with those feathers stacking up is not a bad idea. Something that I'm thinking of. Could possibly do that. Does go for the Ronin. Doesn't kill. Maybe we can get a revenge card that kills this Mavis, so I don't have to waste my cards doing that. Gonna go for the Goldfish, and now one Nutcrack here does deal 100 damage, and then another Nutcrack into that bird, and again I'm getting sped up for no reason. But this bird definitely doesn't have it in him to kill all of my Axies, so we should be winning right here. I think they have changed the banish pile as well, and maybe made those draw piles, those numbers, a little bit smaller for the UI. I think that's looking quite decent. He does put a sleep on my back lane, so maybe he does have enough. Maybe he does have enough, because putting me in a sleep, well, that's most likely gonna kill me. Unless he does get quite a bad card draw. 2 revenge cards, not gonna do it. Or it's very close, it's 7 HP and the Blood Moon is gonna do it. So fortunate scenario. I thought I'm gonna lose that because of the sleep, but does work out in my way. And it looks like it bugs out for a second, but we do take it home. Now let's see what kind of rank we are sitting at. Top 400 almost. Let's jump into another game. Game number 2, we are playing versus a Plant, an Aqua, and a Beast at the back lane. Now I think Plants are gonna make a comeback with the change that you can't play at offensive cards in round 1. If you play something like the Innate on a Plant card, most of those cards allow you to get yourself a shield, maybe get yourself a healing boost or a Clover, whatever it might be. It always does help. Now I'm gonna start off with the Gill, because I always like to have a bubble on my team, and I think I'm gonna go, I could go for the Bumpy, or I can just go for these two right here. I think I'm just gonna go for these two. Looks like it's a little bit better value, and then I can keep the Cottontail for later stages. 80 shield on that Reptile shouldn't be that big of an issue. You can see the Topaz on that backlane Beast, but the Topaz now only deals 5 damage, so my opponent will have to banish quite a lot of cards before that Topaz becomes useful. You can see so far 0 cards being banished. Topaz dealing 16 damage. Not a lot, definitely not a lot. Risky Fish, Dual Blades, and I think I'm gonna go for the Curved Spine. Not sure whether I should play the Shoal Star or not. I don't think it's worth playing it. I could play it just simply to banish more cards, and so I can cycle through the Nutcracks quite quickly. We'll see. He does go for the healing boost. Let's see whether that stacks with Leaves. I don't think it should, but it still might. Leaf should heal him for 8, and I think it healed him for a lot more than that. That's not good. Go for the Nutcrack. I could go for the Cottontail. Oh, didn't cycle through that yet. So I think it's just gonna be Tiny Turtle. And a Ronin to deal as much damage as I can. 118. So I still wouldn't have killed him with Tiny Dino. That's okay. 9 Fury stacks on that backlane Beast. A lot of boosts on that Beast as well. 2 Leaves, a healing boost. I'm still looking for my bubble, so I need to get that Telescope. 6 healing boosts now, so we'll see. That Leaf should heal him for 8 HP, right? But with the healing boosts, how much is gonna that heal him for? 6 on top of each. Maybe it's gonna heal for 20 rather than 8. Let's see how that scales. Yeah, 117, because he gets another one from the healing pulse. So it looks like a healing boosts stack with each leaf that you have, which doesn't help me, but what I do get is quite a lot of cards. I can get that Nemo as well. I can play the Nemo, and I can play quite a lot of damage. Now, I know that he's gonna enter Fury mode, so healing that Reptile probably doesn't give me too much. I'd rather go for damage. rather than healing, so putting that aqua down to 220, and I am gonna enter a fury mode next. So I do have a decent amount of cards from my beast. There's about 4 of them, so hopefully the card draw does help me. It goes for the Topaz, dealing 17 damage. I mean, that's just tragic. You shouldn't be playing a Topaz if you don't have enough banished cards, and it looks like my opponent doesn't have those. So yeah, not too good for my opponent. I go for the Fury. I think I'm just gonna go for this. Play it. Let's see if this is a kill. It's not. Oh, that's unfortunate. I thought that's gonna be a kill. Unfortunately, a massive overkill on that Aqua. 218 damage going into the 20 health that he had. Maybe I should have played the Ronin earlier, and that would have been a kill. 50 plus 70%, and the 2 energy that I used, I think it was a kill. Maybe it was a little bit greedy from my side. He still has 2 leaves and healing boosts, so yeah, he does play 15 shield, which helps quite a lot because I can stun him now. I can go for the Nutcrack and the Ronin combo, putting him down to about 100 health, and this should be easy for the taking. If my opponent doesn't surrender, then I can definitely finish him off in the next turn. So it looks like my team is still working quite fine. Very cheap team, pretty much all pure Axies. Nothing too crazy, nothing too special, but I still don't like that change where you cannot attack in the first rounds. Let's go for the Tiny Dino, let's go for the Nutcrack, finish off that beast and finish off this episode as well. 2 games, both of them being a win. Still at Tiger 4 with 379 the position for my leaderboard rather. And we only have Dragon as the rank that is above us, and then obviously going to Challenger will put us in the top 50. So we'll see whether we can get through this by the end of the season. Only 3 days left, so we'll see where that takes us. And that's going to be it for this episode. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel for daily playtime content, and I will see you in the next one.